Right. Name, Cruel. Did you see it? One sentence summary. Haley goes looking for her dad during a storm. She finds him. And some alligators. Could you beat the villain? It's more of a situation than a villain because the gators are just being gators. They eat things, that's just what they do. So it's more, could I escape the situation? The situation is you're stuck in the crawl space under your house with some alligators and your dad's been chomped by an alligator and it's flooding because there's a hurricane. And yes, I could. I would use the tools. The dad's like a builder and he had a tool belt on. I would use the tools to chisel my way through the ceiling of the crawl space onto the ground floor of your house. You can see daylight through the floorboards, so like you can do it. And how do I know it's possible? Because they later do that going from the ground floor into the crawl space. Why didn't they just go up instead of all the shenanigans? How would you improve the film? This is going to take a while. Haley and her dad are idiots. Comes up a lot throughout the film and it kept irritating me, so there you go. But the title's rubbish. Cruel. You can't tell what the film's about by that. It should have been called like Hurricane Gator or Trap with an Alligator or Snappy Snappy Trappy Trappy. Those would have been good. Haley seems to get changed in like the first scene or two in the locker room full of other people, and like she's on a video chat with her sister, so maybe they're close and they're cool with that. But what about all the other people in the room who are like, yo, for a lot of the film you've got no real idea of the geography of the crawl space, so you don't really know where anyone is in relation to anything else or where the alligators are. And that gets even worse when the flooding happens, because like one minute there'll be an alligator and someone will fall in the water, then there's no alligators. What's going on? Haley and her dad are related to Wolverine, I assume, because gator bites are super deadly to anyone bar them. The dad's bitten twice. First, he fixes himself up with a tool belt. Then, you know, he's bitten again and he fixes himself up with a bit of his shirt and stops his arm, you know. Chopped off there, bit of shirt tied on, you're alright. Haley is bitten in the leg. She's bitten in the arm. And then she's bitten potentially in the same arm again. She's absolutely fine, so, you know, good for them. Reference in Jaws and Die Hard does not make your film good film. There you go. Haley drops her phone while she's dragging her dad away from the alligator / Yankee crocodile. Then she goes back to get it, and instead of getting the phone, going back to the safe zone, what she does is she decides that she's going to sit there on the phone, try and call for help exactly where she is, even though she knows the alligator could come at any time. And then another alligator sneaks up behind her, and I think it's revealed by like the only flash of lightning in the film. Oh yeah, the only reason that Haley pulled that gun from that dead cop is because like obviously someone thought it'd be cool if like, oh man, what if you've got a gun and an alligator bites you on the arm and you shoot the gun from inside the alligator's mouth? That'd be cool. And you can tell that's the only reason it was in the film, because at no point before does anyone go, oh man, I wish we had a gun, or no point after does anyone go, oh man, I lost that gun, oh that would have been so useful. The big ass tunnel that leads from the swamp directly into the crawl space under your house seems like a design flaw, but I'm not an architect, so I don't know what that's there for. At one point, Haley, she digs her way through the kitchen floor to pull her dad up from the crawl space instead of just digging their way out and saving themselves an hour and lots of hassle. But A, he was unconscious for too long. He's definitely got brain damage. B, they go outside. Well, no, she goes, oh man, we got to get to the car. And then they go outside, and then the street is flooded, and she's all like, oh no. But she's been in the crawl space, which is presumably about ground level, which she knows is flooded. She's even been outside, because she had to go outside to come back in the house. So she knew the place was flooded. Why was she surprised by it being flooded? I don't know. There's a hurricane. You know, that's the reason you're there, to go, because there's a bloody hurricane. Anyway, what happened to the police boat? It disappeared. I mean, it might have floated away, But then why didn't the thieves' boat, and I'll come back to both of these, why didn't that float away? Because that was like in the same street. It was just across the road. There you go. Hayley's dad actively tries to kill her. So they're walking through the flooded street instead of what I would have done, which is stay in the house and like just be on the second floor or whatever it is and wait out the storm and hope you don't die of your gator bites. Or B, I would have floated my way towards the boat that you're going to use to escape on top of a car or something along those lines, because the cars are floating around. But there you go. So they're walking through the gator-infested water street, and then the alligators become aware of them, and Hayley's dad's like, "Hey, what are you?" And he's been, referring to her as an apex predator the whole film. So he's like, "You can outswim the gators." And as soon as that happened, I was like, no, she can't. That's stupid. So when I got home, I did some research, and guess what I found? So yeah, she can't outswim the gators. That's ridiculous. Not only is she Wolverine, she's Aquaman. There you go. And right, even if she could swim faster than an alligator, the water's murky. So how does she know she's not swimming directly into the mouth of an alligator? But anyway, she gets into the thieves' boat, which we've already seen alligators like eat someone out of, but they don't choose to do it on this instance. She drives the boat the tiny distance to pick up the dad and the dog. More on the dog later. And then a tidal wave, because the levee breaks. Don't you ever reference Led Zeppelin in this film again. God damn you. Anyway, levee breaks, tidal wave comes, and like the best thing she can think to do is try and tackle this side on, not like try and surf it. There's a bit where one of the alligators, you never know how many there is, doesn't really matter, smashes a bit of wall whilst it's chasing Hayley. Then she manages to trap that same alligator, I believe. Again, doesn't really matter, could have been a different one. They all look alike, it's not racist. She manages to trap that alligator behind the glass shower door, which presumably is like the strongest shower door in the world, but there you go. Ellie's dad pulls out some flares from inside an urn. Weird place to keep them, alright. And Sadie's been bitten on at least one arm, possibly both arms, and she's hanging onto the gut and she's like, "Oh no!" And then the dad reaches in from out of shot and saves her. But like, just because we couldn't see him doesn't mean he didn't exist. So like, why was she surprised to see him? And also, like, he's got one arm and he's been bitten on the leg and the chest and stuff. He was very, very strong for someone who's probably dying of blood loss. Yeah, Hayley's responsible for the deaths of at least 2 people. Anyway, later, the sister's ex-boyfriend, the cop, and his partner come and check out their house, and they both get eaten by alligators, basically. And so Hayley's definitely responsible for those deaths. There's no two ways about it. They wouldn't have been there if not for her. But there's some thieves who are robbing the petrol station across the road. And you could argue that they were there so the gators might have got them. But they were in the process of leaving when Hayley distracted them. And then that's when the alligators got them. So I would say at least 5 people she's responsible for the deaths of. Is she ever going to admit to that? No, I don't think so. Yeah, rating out of 5 beers, 4. The only saving grace was Sugar the dog. Good dog. Not very useful, but a good dog indeed. I'm glad the dog didn't get eaten. But it did cost the dad an arm.